Right. Welcome to the digital version of the board game Terraforming Mars. I don't have the Hellas and Elysium expansion, just to make everyone aware of that. Anyway, in case the title wasn't obvious, it's about terraforming Mars as a corporation over the course of generations, via various projects and whatnot. I will be playing the solo challenge, in which you try to terraform Mars on your own in a limited number of generations. Fair warning, I'm not exactly great at this, so... Okay. Let's actually look at the list of possible things. Not many events, only one Jupiter tag, so neither of them would be particularly effective with the starting hand we have. Definitely not. I don't have any notable means of increasing that yet, so... I don't want to burn too much money though, I still want enough in order to get the enemy colony set up. Actually no, it would be better to get the protected valley first, that's correct. Okay. I'm gonna need plant cards. Right, so... First things first. Let's should get our money income up. Yeah, so the goal is to get all three global parameters to the maximum. These happen to be oxygen, temperature, and oceans. Oxygen is for obvious reasons. You need enough for people to be able to breathe, and 14% is about the highest... is about the oxygen percentage at the highest elevations on Earth. Still breathable, if difficult for people that aren't used to it. Temperature is also rather obvious. 8 degrees Celsius is about the coldest areas that are continuously habited by humans and also have a reasonable industry beyond, say, fishing or hunting. It's basically warm enough for agriculture. Although tundra agriculture is possible with advanced technology, it tends to be high maintenance. Finally, there's oceans, which is a little less obvious, but it's there for good reason. Not only is it a source of water, which is important, it also helps stabilize the climate in order to prevent massive variations. The oceans on Earth are massive temperature sinks, and water is notoriously hard to change temperature, so it acts as a stabilizing measure in keeping Earth from doing what Mercury does, which goes to hot enough to melt some soft metals on the day side to cold enough to freeze almost everything on the night side. We also have a selection of 6 resources. Mega credits. The symbol is extremely similar to that of the Euro symbol, so Muros, which is basically money. Steel, which can be used for building cards, which have the building tag. I don't actually have any of those available though. Oh, yeah, this. For these, you can use one new resource of steel as if it were 2 money. And there's titanium, which is used for space cards. Can be used as to replace 3 money each. Plant tiles. Well, plants can be used in order to place greeneries. Normally, it takes 8 to place greeneries, though you can also place them in other ways. For example, the card that I just played lets me place a forest in a specific area, specifically where an ocean tile would normally go. So upon clicking that, I get 2 money production. Erase the oxygen 1 step, because greeneries do that. And erases my terraform rating. I'll explain that in a moment. Then there's energy, electricity, etc. which are immediate. Well, it's probably important to get some production. These are often used for actions on blue cards, which are cards with specific actions. They're also often used because decrease in energy production in order to indicate that your electricity production is going to use somewhere. Inside the standard project, placing a city, well, within cards, oftentimes placing a city requires that. The Ganymede colony is one of the exceptions. Leftover energy at the end of each turn is converted into heat, 8 of which can be used to raise the temperature one step. So heat production is really important. And then finally there's standard projects. You can either sell cards which you don't want for whatever reason, build a power plant in order to increase energy production, get a small asteroid to increase temperature by one step, and open up an aquifer to place an ocean tile, plant a greenery, or place a city, which increases your money production by 1. These are all pretty expensive though, tend to be more expensive than their card counterparts in almost every way. It's usually better to play cards, unless they absolutely need it. Or you have more money that you know what to do with. However, it's usually really important to get those last steps necessary inside of a solo campaign, so that's why I bought this. It gives you 3 money every time you do a standard project other than selling patents. But that's pretty much all I can do this turn, so... I just placed a tile. Achievement system is a bit weird sometimes. For example, this is the AI Central. It doesn't actually use any energy, but it does reduce the energy production permanently, and allows you to draw 2 cards every turn for free. The game is a draft-style game in which you don't actually draw cards directly, at least not normally. Instead, you get a selection of cards which you buy for 3 money each. I really want to have that, but it might not be a good idea. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to... I already have one science card. Put me, I wouldn't be able to play anything. But I need the giant space mirror, so... Yeah, I'm not able to play anything important, so... Just a resource collection turn. There's also about 200 cards in the deck, but we're probably not going to get through all of them. Ooh, Archaebacteria is really good. Optimal area breaking also tends to be pretty useful. Oh yeah, each turn you not only gain money equal to your money production, but you also get some equal to your terraform rating. So the faster you get terraforming, the better. Okay. Now we have the resources to actually do stuff. Resource production is really important. Money production isn't nearly as important, so the Ganymede colony can wait. Titanium production is pretty useful since it's the equivalent of 3 money production, just that I need space cards in order to use it. Use all my titanium to get 3 power production, which is pretty close to 3 heat production. It's not necessarily that. And generally tends to be more useful. The early generations always go by fast. Steelworks. I don't have the oxygen to support the GHG producing bacteria though. Yet. That could be useful later. Plus it's cheap. Let's get the Archaebacteria set up. Adaptation technology would be useful to have. Let's just play it now. Although I really should have... Yeah, I really should have waited until I needed it. This could be a big ticket item that I want to play out of the selection of new cards. Playing optimally isn't always the funnest thing to do. Oh, did I grab? Yes, I proved arrow breaking. Yes. I want all of these. Probably not the smartest decision, but it's what I'm sticking with. And that combination of 2 cheap cards just gave me enough to raise the temperature one step. It's always a slow start, but it picks up. With more and more resource production, I can potentially actually win the game. This won't necessarily be the case though. Saturn system tends to be not the greatest company to start with. Ooh, a quantum extractor. Yeah, none of the other stuff's useful. At all. get to the big asteroid now. I don't want to miss out on the archibacteria. No, the design microorganisms. At least this turn. Oh, sure. Saturn systems would actually be far more viable in a multiplayer game because their special thing is that they get money production every time a Jovian tag is played. So they're incentivized to play Jovian tags, and their opponents are disincentivized when it comes to obtaining Jovian tags. And Jovian tags tend to be worth a lot of points, even if they are somewhat expensive. Like this. Perfect example of that. 33 money. I could actually afford it right now, but it would not be, it would use up all my resources. Which is why I'm not doing that. Would not be the smartest decision. All in all, what I really need is more temperature. Or science tags. Science tags are always nice. But I would not be able to afford the standard projects plus AI Central, so... And plus 2 temperature would get me another energy production, no, another heat production, because as the steps go up within the temperature, well, the temperature and oxygen column, you get little bonuses. It's actually competitive play in order to in order to try to grab those in a multiplayer game, but here, getting your TR as high as possible is the first point of interest. In order to ensure that you have as many resources as possible to get the job done within the required time limit. There are, after all, only 14 turns, and we've just used half of them. GHG factories would be really useful. Industrial microbes in order to start getting steel production. All these except for gene repair are actually pretty good. Of course, I might be overreaching too. Buying too many cards can actually be problematic. I still haven't seen any cards with placing in oceans, which is not promising at all. It's generally a bad sign for that to be the case. Additional note, while most tiles are capable of being placed anywhere, greeneries have special rules in that they must be placed adjacent to an own tile unless there is no possible adjacent tile. If I had no tiles on the board, for example, I would be able to place it anywhere. Now, where do I place it? Gives me some plans so that I can place the next greenery a little bit sooner. Well, if I were to increase my plant production, it really did not make a difference at all otherwise. More resources. Yum. That is equivalent of 9 money production. 2 titanium is equal to 6, saving space cards, plus 2 as well from the card, and then the Jovian tag gets me another one. Expensive, but worth the investment. I think. As the very least, it would give me points at the end of the game, which, if I manage to finish, would be incredibly helpful. I don't have any events. The media group is not useful, and it's unlikely to become useful. That's not nearly enough for this to be worth it in any manner. Let's get the industrial microbes out and let's start producing steel. Another temperature step for more money, as well as more energy production, in order to step up my temperature game. Temperature tends to be the one that's really difficult to get all the way up to the top, simply because there's so many steps. Oh, the Mars University could be really useful, especially once you start getting random card draws. You should get pushes as well. The penal mines are unnecessary this late. On in. Yeah, let's go with that honeycomb structure. For the moment, I don't have any city cards. It's best to plan just in case. I have a convenient location to place a city. Because cities are worth points in the end of the game. One per city, plus one for each forested borders. And the forests themselves are the greeneries. Yeah, the greeneries tiles are also worth 1 point each. Well, that you own. The adjacency bonus for cities applies to other people's cities too. I don't have the money for this combo just yet. Yeah. So I should continue working on increasing heat production. Oh, up! Wrong button. The enter only works if you do card. Well, I screwed up that. Ooh, metals deposit. It's worth the cost of obtaining. The ore processor would let me get a little more oxygen. There we go. Enter key. Would not be the first time I accidentally skipped my turn. Right, I need another science tag so that I can play the AI Central. Let's make it as cheap as possible. Right, that's our first action card. I can just use the action to draw 2 cards. Of course, unlike the others, there's probably jump like this. Not great. That's even worse. I only have 3 event tags, so that would cost money. The Mars University has an effect. It's not an action. Whenever you play a science... In fact, I actually already have a couple of effects. Plus or minus... your global requirements are plus or minus 2 steps. Your choice in each case, though the game automatically makes it so it's the improved situation. Or this, or this. Yep. This, whenever I play a science attack, including this one, I may choose a card in my hand to discard, and then draw a new one to replace it. I don't need this. Hopefully the new one is better. Okay, that's not great. I'm probably not using that. Right, so next... Ore processor. Uses up some of my energy production in order to get more oxygen, and as a bonus, some titanium. No. Do I want to play that now? I've got so much titanium, I think I can set up the Ganymede colony without any issues. There it is, little city tile placed over there. Yeah, the solo campaign starts with 2 random city tiles and greeneries placed by the neutral player. They just sit there and act as roadblocks. So you can't get optimal placement of everything every time. Yeah, really, the difficulty is no ocean. Where are the ocean cards? I only have too many productions left. I don't think it would be worth the cost of playing that. Probably not. The combination might be good. Sure, why not? I need more oxygen, though. I absolutely need more water tiles. think I might actually start using the Aquafire effect. First, for the quantum extractor. 4 energy production is nothing to sneeze at. Let me cycle another card. I don't want a development center. I could use the energy for other things. Like this. Actually, I probably should have waited to draw cards first from the AI Central, and let's see what we get. Convoy from Europa and Wave Power. The Convoy's good. That much is certain. Okay, the shuttles give me a little extra money production, but also produce space cards cost by 2, which makes this even cheaper. Right, if I place an ocean tile here, I'll get 2 more cards. The approved arrow breaking effect comes in too. A little late for the Moho area, isn't it? Methane from Titan can be really useful, so that uses up all the titanium I had. The heat production and the plant production especially is going to be good, though. Though I am also running... yeah. I may need more heat production, actually. What should I focus on? Well, this is worth the cost. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely was worth the cost now. I played every space tag that I could reasonably play without being too expensive. So use G factories in order to get my heat production all the way up, or one of these two. Why is it saying the flavors? Okay. Well, actually, one of these 3. The bushes would be better than the grass. If I were to play this turn, not sure if it else would actually be kind of useless unless I play it this turn. Then it would only produce 2. Or I can get the GHG factories out in order to produce far more heat. I'm leading on the heat production. I could also start selling cards, but it would take almost all of my cards in order to get the bushes out, so... You're annoying. Ooh! I'm liking these events. Who cares about Deimos? We weren't planning on doing anything with that moon anyway. There's also another rule. Whenever you place a tile next to an ocean, well, whenever you place a tile, you also get 2 money for every adjacent ocean tile. So placing oceans near where you plan on placing things is smart, to say the least. The ice asteroid gets me more terraform rating. Plus, I need ocean tiles badly. A card to work with, and more plants. Two more cards. And let's also bring the oxygen, and as a result, the temperature up 1 step. And I also have enough heat for yet another step. We're close to the ice caps melting. Of course, the research outpost has to come now. I don't have a convenient spot for it. Well, it's just a science tag in the city. It's worth points, but not that many, especially since I don't have the time to actually place anything useful. I don't need most of these cards. Most of these cards aren't helpful. I could get Terraforming Ganymede out. That would get me 6 more money production, but that's not useful. More importantly is the 7 points So that should be safe for last. Asteroid. Okay, temperature does not seem to be a problem at all. I should be able to get it, with Deimos down, I should be able to get it all the way to its last steps. No trouble at all. So I need to worry about plants, and most importantly, oceans. Oceans are going to be the hardest. 5 steps required. The oxygen is also going to need several steps, but I can mosey my way on into getting yet another greenery this turn. Or enough plant production to easily get yet another next turn. Quit with the achievements. I've done all that stuff before. Has it just been integrated in the game recently? Sure, I haven't played in a while, but still. That's ridiculously expensive, but I don't have anywhere else to put my titanium. It would be better just to use a standard project for that. Cost less money. Although the same can be said of the giant convoy. But I could do a lot to take advantage of that. I might be able to avoid Deimos down if I'm lucky. This Deimos down is also expensive. No, not particularly useful, except maybe the trees they came in earlier. Okay, bring the temperature up a step. Right, now comes the difficult part. I gotta figure out ways to save money, obtain the resources that I need in order to actually get all of this done. Okay, so what's the best way to handle this? Deimos down will guarantee that I have enough temperature. But can I save money by doing the large convoy enough times? I only have so much money too, there's probably not enough for it all. It's the last turn that's always the most fun. For the simple reason that you have to figure out how to allocate those resources, well, oftentimes, and if you're both good and lucky, you can actually get it right. Well, I can't do anything without knowing what those 2 cards are. I may be able to get some events that give me cheap oceans. That would be... Plants, of course. I do need to plant more greeneries. Best spot for that. Geothermal power and food factory. Okay, so the cards weren't worth it. I can at least sell them. And the asteroid project is extremely cheap. Not quite as cheap as Deimos down would have been. Okay, I need to get the aquifers out. Just too more. I can literally afford 2 more. I don't think that's enough. I'm gonna need to plant a greenery in order to have enough plants for the next one anyway. Not sure if I can get enough money. Well, no use beating around it. I'm not gonna be able to play Terraforming Mars, that's for sure. Sadly, I don't think the 16 cash is enough. Oh, it might be. It might be. Actually, it isn't. No, it's not. I have to do the temperature 2 steps, not... So close and yet so far. Yep. 4 more money. If I could convert that steel to money, it would be enough, but I am entirely out of resources. That's kind of points. Doesn't matter where I place it. The resources don't matter. I can't burn them anymore. The final turn also has a phase in which you can convert any remaining plants to greeneries. Yep. I lose. Sure, let's keep games that I've recorded in the history. Yeah. A quick campaign like this takes how long? Half an hour, and I was explaining everything since it was the first episode. So, yeah. I could do quick little things like this when I'm busy with something, or just don't feel like recording a 2-hour session playing M&T, which I really don't at the moment. A week or 2 of this, maybe I'll feel more like it, so. Anyway, see you again next time with the next campaign of this. Until then.